Were you ever told no, you can't? It's not possible. It's not going to happen. It's not for you. You're not good enough. So I was told no. I've heard no quite often throughout the years. I'm sure everyone has. But I remember this one time where someone told me that you're not good enough. And I was like, okay. That really hurt. Okay, it really hurt. Cuts deep, right? For someone to say, no, you're not good enough, or you can't do this. And I remember, I don't remember, exactly my initial thought on it, but that has just always stuck. I don't dwell on it, but, it's something that I haven't forgotten. And I feel like that, honestly, I'm thankful for hearing that. That doesn't mean go around and tell everyone, no, you can't do this, you're not good enough. But I'm thankful for hearing that, because the type of person that I am, I was like, oh, but I am, and I'm going to be much better than you think I can't be, right? And so I was in college and I was working a full-time job. I had a lot on my plate, and I'll tell you about all that in another video. But I was in college and working and just, trying to make ends meet, which was hard. I lived on ramen noodles a lot, and, that was just my life. But I did it. I graduated college, and I went back. I got a job. I, continued to get jobs, as I moved ahead in my career, or, my path may have changed for whatever reason, which is pretty much consistently always revolved around what I mainly do. But, just looking back, I feel like maybe that might have been something that just kind of like pushed me to continue to try harder and to do more. Sometimes I guess no is not a bad thing, right? It can give us, it can go both ways, right? Sometimes no, you can hear no and it can discourage you, make you feel like, oh yeah, I'm not ever going to be able to do that. I might as well just, forget about it. But then sometimes it's like, no, you hear the word no and you're like, no, I'm going to prove you wrong. No is not for me. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do, and I am going to do it. And it motivates you, and that's what you need. You need that motivation. I see this person every once in a while, like every blue moon, and I don't say it, but I just think, you were wrong. That's all I do. I just think it. I don't say anything. But you can take no, you can take it several different ways. You can take no as a no, this is a hard stop, I'm done, I'm not pursuing this anymore. Or you can take no as, okay, well, I'm going to prove you wrong and I'm going to continue on this path. Or you can change your path slightly. You can say, you know what, maybe I'm just not going about it the right way. Maybe I need to kind of like change this. So like if you're asking for something and they say no, or if you want a promotion and they say no, well, maybe that's because you need to sharpen some skills somewhere, go back to school, get some certifications, see what other people are doing that are in that role, and try to, mirror them or do better. But oftentimes we're told no, and a lot of times when we are told no, we stop. And sometimes that's what you're supposed to do, depending on what it is. Sometimes stopping is the best option at that time. And sometimes stopping and then starting later. Maybe it's timing. Maybe it's just not the right time for that. But, you really kind of have to, when you do hear that, you hear no, you need to evaluate why. Like, try to figure out why. Why are they saying no? Why are they saying you're not good enough? Why are they saying these things? Sometimes it's just their own personal whatever, which in my case I think it was, in that particular situation that I'm referring to. But, you know, I feel like a lot of times though, if you do step back and you do, you know, reevaluate the no, you'll see that maybe they're right, maybe you're not ready and you need to prepare a little more. But whatever you do, I encourage you to not take no for an answer. If you hear no and it is something that you are very passionate about, that you really, really want, then when you hear no, instead of stopping and just, you know, shifting gears, throwing it out the window, you can pause, figure out why, figure out what you need to do to turn that no into a yes.